Hello and welcome back to This or That with Kobe and Cap, the original LCS game show.
Yeah!
If you didn't see our one last weekend, though, turned into Saturday's show right at the beginning for Countdown.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into number one here, see what we got today.
Better game! Steeler. Good intro, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is also from our LCS game show, Saturday. Go check it out. Steal or no steal, caster feud, or Jeopardash. Personally, I studied the most for Jeopardash because I looked up a bunch of stats to be ready, so I'd hit him with the buzzer and I'd actually make it through that point. But we didn't get past caster feud, Flowers.
No, we didn't. And that, so see, you're saying you studied the most for this one. I, as many a student has done, did not study at all for anything because I just got in there, I sat down, I heard those questions. It's like, so I don't know nothing on this side of the test, flip it, okay, go back to the first side, I don't know any of it. But yes, that is the one that I was a part of. Wasn't a part of the other ones, so I'm gonna vote for me. Give me that.
All right, I also liked this one the best. I really want to participate in it next time, so hopefully we could get past the caster feud. So I'll go other thing, next slide. Better Senna partner. Is it an AD carry, a farming support? So although they have a picture of Nautilus, and there have been a lot of tank farming supports, in solo queue and in high elo, I've definitely seen a lot of mages there as well with Senna. So you have AD and AP, same lane. The mage is like anyone with a stun, Syndra, stuff like that. Or a carry like Rumble. To me, they're all good options. I think AD carry is the worst. So it's between these two for me. And I would go with the carry because maybe I get Syndra in here too. She kind of counts. Maybe I'm double dipping, farming.
So I agree. I think this one is the weakest. It's also the boringest. We've seen AD carries a different kind of marksman before. Get them out of here. Fasting Senna. I am going to vote for that because this champion specifically, I'm very glad that they used Nautilus as the example image. Because when I was playing games with my friends the other night, we went 4-1 on the night. The one game we lost was because my goofy friends decided to give Senna Nautilus bottom lane 15 kills in 10 minutes. I don't know how they didn't stop dying after like 4 or 5, but they did. And I ran up to fight this guy, and he just turned his shield on and bonked my head with a big ol' anchor. So
some delayed flame here from Flowers, slightly veiled.
Y'all know who you are. I'm going with that. That's scary.
All right, fair enough. Next slide. Who should the MVP be? Is it a player who carries their team the most, player of the week, or best player on the best team? This is often debated. I would say another example might be like Someday on 100 Thieves because he hard carries a lot of games and there's a big discrepancy there, so they would really be in trouble without him. Or is it actually just the best individual player?
So I think that one, I should say, sometimes gets flack from a lot of people because they're saying, oh, you're letting these other factors contribute into it and it's not just the player themselves. Like, what if it's a player who's in an elo hell type of situation and he's stuck on a bad team? And I think most of those feelings come from repressed solo queue anger of saying, no, I would be challenger too if I wasn't stuck with these D4 0 LP no nothings. But at the end of the day, I think that if you are one of the players who's good enough to be at the very top in MVP caliber, you will eventually get yourself onto one of those teams that is so successful. And I think that the best player on the best team should be the MVP. Because if you're that good, your team's not gonna be that bad.
So I think there is some nuance here, and I don't, like, if this player individually is legitimately better than the best player on the best team, like the best team is getting their wins through team play, better drafting, a lot of out-comping, stuff like that, then I'm like, okay, you have a legitimate way to vote this person. But if this player, the best player on the best team, is legitimately better individually than this one, and you're just saying, oh, well, he carries his team harder because they're worse. Yeah, I'm not buying that. So.
That's what I'm looking at is the phrasing of it. He carries his team the most. That's just saying you have the biggest backpack, which is not what I'm judging MVP off of, so I vote that.
All right, next slide. Bigger reason for Team Liquid's success. Solo lane power coming back to prominence. Brox's new groove. He's been practicing with the team quite a lot more. Tactical coming in and changing everybody's mind. His performance was incredibly good and doubly so because of the amount of pressure. He had never played an LCS game before.
Yeah.
Coming in as a rookie on the stage, absolutely smashed it. As far as in the actual game, I think Broxa, for me, slightly edged out Tactical because I think Broxa had 2 really good games for himself, making a lot of plays for the team. But I have to say, good performances all around.
Yeah, Tactical had probably about the best showing that you could ask for in the situation that he was given. This one, I'm not fully convinced on because I specifically remember in one of the games, it was a really long way into the game. I wish I could remember which one it was, but it was like 25 minutes in. Impact was 0-0 and 0. And Twitch chat was just spamming, heavy impact top lane because he's making such an impact on the game. Like lots of really lousy puns, but at the same time, just memeing the fact that, yeah, he's 0-0-0 the entire time. I'm agreeing with you. It's got to be that. Brox is popping off for a long time. I think people may have unfairly put too much of the blame for Team Liquid on not having Broxa and loading it all onto Shermfire when everybody was goofing up. But now that Brox has shown up, everybody's looking at him. All eyes are on that jungle position to be the glue that brings this together and make them pop off and justify the one roster change they made. And I think more performances like this past week will do it. It's all about the groove.
Will they be able to challenge Cloud9? That might be a slide of the future because everybody's wondering that. Next one. Better Victor Crown. Ooh, not recently. Or the notorious POB. I say this one, I have a large amount of recency bias coming off that POB game from earlier in the week, Saturday. He absolutely smashed it, destroyed TSM, farmed up, big late game Victor, big Lichbane procs. Gotta go POB nowadays. Crown of old, if we're going back in the time machine, then you got a good argument.
I'm going for career Victor play here. That's the lens I'm going to look at this through. And so I'm 100% going for Crown.
Okay.
Yes, recency bias is going to say, but bro, he let CLG get a win. They've been feeding to everybody. So although POB has definitely not been skipping back day recently, he put his carry pants on, he got it done. I'm still throwing my vote for this.
Okay. Different take on the question. Next slide. Bigger achievement. Dig killing the unkillable Danish king. That would be Sven, ruining his KDA. Froggen also, afterwards, by the way, had all chat flame for him. So I was like, oh, that is so good.
That was fantastic.
Or dig killing Cloud9's mid lane turret, which until yesterday had been unkilled the entire split. I say it's cooler taking down the actual player and taking down Sven than actually knocking over the tower.
So
what about you?
I'm thinking the opposite, actually, because in order to kill him, you can just go super crazy, all the way ham in a team fight. Yeah, you can lose the whole team fight, and by the way, they did. That's all they got from this was killing Sven, and then Dignitas just got absolutely annihilated. But
they also lost the game for doing
Froggen was able to say, look, you're dead. In order to do this, it takes much more teamwork and cohesion and planning. If you just try to run at a turret, I don't care if you use both your summoner spells and your ulti on it, they can't hit it anyway. It's a turret. You gotta be more coordinated to pull that off. I'm voting for that.
All right, you sold me, actually. I'm jumping ship. I'm coming back to that.
Hell yeah.
Next slide. Better for player growth. Playing in Academy on a top team, Dignitas Academy, or playing in the LCS on a bottom team. I say better practice makes perfect here because if you're on the LCS, even on a bottom team, you get more scrims with other LCS teams. So I feel like this one's gonna give you better on-stage experience, plus possibly allow you to get better scrims.
Yeah, the on-stage thing I think is big too. I think it's one of the big things that separates these players who are trying to make the switch from being top-tier solo queue ladder competitors to actually being, guys who compete in arenas and compete on stage every week is actually going on a stage. And although Academy does afford you that opportunity, being able to do it every week, I think it's worth a lot more than sometimes we give it credit for. And also, yeah, any amount of LCS is going to be just absolutely invaluable experience for these guys in terms of the competition that they're getting to experience. It's a whole new world out there. Even when separating it from the Tier 2 of Academy, I'm agreeing. A whole new way, exactly. They're riding on the magic carpet all the way into the LCS. Even if you're sitting down there with CLG with 2 wins, you're still gonna get good EXP.
I do like how the Academy players do get stage games now. A couple sprinkled in there. Next slide. Feels better. CLG beating TSM, a boom. Or Team Liquid going from 9th to 3rd in week 3. So this one is a lot of, I mean, on paper it sounds good, but it is also a lot of, technically they were tied for second to last, but only 1 win separated like 7 teams, 8 teams that we had almost in this clump where everybody was, really close anyway. So this is basically winning 2 games. For CLG, I say CLG beating anyone at this point would take the cake for me. I'm like, that's a bigger one than anybody else winning 2 games because CLG had been down in the dumps and Pobelter's back on it. Now they got an entirely different feel about this team, so I'm gonna go with this.
Fun stat, there is a greater difference in the number of wins between 1st and 2nd right now. Cloud9 and FlyQuest has 4 wins separating them. Between 2nd and 9th, there's only 3 wins separating that. It is a massive, massive cluster, soup, clump, whatever you want to call it, in the middle of the pack, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. TL is also not the kind of a team that's going to be happy just getting 2 wins off of a really bad early half of the split. CLG knows things have been real rough. Real rough. And to be able to break that streak and beat the team that you just want to beat more than anybody else, no way that doesn't feel bad.
Yep, gotta be this. Next slide.
All right.
Feels worse using Herald as you accidentally activate it. Pressing 4 when you're trying to ward. I don't think that feels as bad as it used to, by the way, because they increased the range where you still get gold credit for Shelly running into turret plates. So I've even activated her, gone and done the scuttle crab, and I'm still in range nowadays. So I don't think that feels as bad as it used to, or using flash instead of dancing. Oh, okay, that's my answer.
What? Okay, I fully 100%, 200% completely disagree with you. This is way worse. The only way you're gonna use flash instead of dancing is if you have flash on D. And if you have flash on D, you are objectively incorrect. When SKT is the best team in the world, and the only question at any international event, with every international event was just who's gonna get second, because SKT is the best. You know what? All 5 players have flash on F, where it belongs. F is for flash. If you're pressing D to flash, you're pressing the wrong buttons. This feels worse.
I think you're using objectively.
Nope, it is objective truth. If SKT, find me a team that was more globally dominant than SKT in their prime, and then it can be subjective again, my friend.
I am not budging on this one. I don't think we've disagreed harder ever.
My feet are firmly planted. I am not gonna move.
Mine are not planted. You stay there. I'm out of here. You turn into the LCS on the weekend.
And don't forget, Monday Night League's gonna be there too. Catch you next time.